Hello, this is segment 2 of remote assessment, part of Kent ISD's remote learning bootcamp. We're going to look at a number of the tools available for you. And because there are so many options, we want to do a little bit of a roundup so that we can figure out what's best and what's going to work for you. So, like John Wayne or more modern Little Nas X, you got to gather them, inspect them, figure out what is good for your content, your grade level, and find what is going to be quick and easy and provide you with some good data. Thinking about how you can keep it manageable, not having too many different platforms so that you don't get overwhelmed and so that students don't get overwhelmed. So we're going to saddle up and say yeehaw and get things moving. So we could spend probably 2 days looking at all of the different platforms out there. I'm going to focus in this video on these 4 platforms. But if you go to our guide doc, which is accessible from the Remote Instruction Bootcamp remote assessment page. You scroll down to segment 2, you can access that document here. And in this, I stated our key considerations, which you can view, and then provided links to these 4 main platforms, sample activities, as well as some tips and some additional resources to guide you through that. So to start off with Google Forms, I like Google Forms a lot because it has a pretty good set of question types. It's built into G Suite, which most of us have accounts to already, and it provides some pretty good options for us. So in this example, you can go through and answer it. One idea is to embed a video and then post questions about that video. That's something that can increase engagement a little bit. You can choose questions that will have multiple answers as well as full text answers that you can grade individually. So looking at it on the back end, this is what it looks like from the teacher side. A couple things that you can consider is that in the answer key, you can provide links for feedback. So if they get an incorrect answer, you can put a link to a website that will help them on that topic. So that's a good way to save you some time. If you prompt students to revisit their answers and maybe retake it, that could be a good formative learning process. In terms of reviewing their answers in the data set, this is what the summary looks like. So you can get kind of an overview. You can look at it question by question and see how well students did, how many they got right or wrong, and then look at the individual. So lots of options there. The next one I want to feature is called quizzes. And if you play that sample quiz that I put in there, this is just for practice, this is kind of what it looks like. So it's basically a game-based question by question, and you get points for answering correctly or how quickly you answer. So again, you can, they get immediate feedback whether or not it's right or wrong. You have multiple choice, text-based answers, and fill in the blank or ordering. So you can put in audio recordings and have multiple answers as well. So if I get those wrong, it shows me which ones I got, which ones I didn't get. I'm going to close that out. From a teacher's point of view, this is what the data set looks like. So you can look at players, questions, and overview. Pretty nice data set. I like that quite a bit. And you can find quizzes that others have made, copy those quizzes, and modify them for your own purposes. So that can help you be more efficient in creating your quizzes, and then looking through how you want to respond to students, you can react and get back to them pretty quickly. You cannot put in that feedback on questions and quizzes. That's one of the things that they say they're working on, but at this time you cannot do that. So moving on to Go Formative or Formative, this is what the teacher dashboard looks like. One of the things I really like about Formative is this dashboard. So you can put in multiple choice questions and I can see whether or not students got it right or wrong. But if I go from question to question, one of the advantages of Formative is that there's a drawing question. So if I want students to model something or represent their thinking with a drawing tool, I have that option here. And then I can quickly grade them depending on how many points and give feedback directly to that student for that question. That's not really an option in either of the previous two tools. So that's one of the reasons why I like this quite a bit. You have a lot of versatility and a lot of ways to give feedback. Looking at how the quiz is set up, you can place things like a link. Do you think you got it right? Go to the site below to check. So if I'm having them take this assessment, this is actually a learning activity where they're going to be self-assessing, and I'm giving them a chance to go back and change their answer. So it's not so much whether or not they get it right the first time, it's whether or not they have it right at the end of things. The last one I want to look at is Desmos Teacher. And what you're looking at here is a Desmos teacher dashboard. Again, this is one of the things I really like about that. As students are going through your different screens, so you can set up screens one by one. You can also have them draw and explain their drawing. So as you go through, you can see each student, what they explained, and as students enter their explanations, they then see each other's explanations. So they first have to post, so you're getting original thinking, and then they can kind of gauge their thinking against others. And if you want, then they could edit theirs after viewing others. Again, giving them that chance to process and update. So this is what it looks like for the student. They have to draw on the loop-de-loop, explain their answer. I can embed different media and then again have them explain. I can have them draw. And one of the things I like about Desmos too, I put in a screenshot of this text and then posted a prompt. So now students can go in and mark up this text for what I want them to indicate and then have them explain their answer. So I'm getting to a much deeper representation of understanding and a little more of an engaging process and activity than just a multiple choice quiz. There's also these awesome tools. If I'm showing this in front of a class, let's say I assign this when they're not face to face, then we come back, I can anonymize, and then we can look at the different answers that people did and have discussions about that. So if I go into the teacher view, I can go into this, and then I can open up the student's answer, and then we can have discussion around that. So a lot of versatility as to how you can use that. And if students do sign in, you can give them direct feedback by typing as well. So pretty awesome and pretty easy to create these as well. So going back to our document, you can go through all this info. I included some other additional options as well. So if there's different things that you might want to do, you can explore these, including some creation-based ideas with Flipgrid video responses and having them generate thinking map tasks. There's some templates here that you can check out. But for your task here, go through one of these platforms or resources, create an activity, and paste the link or provide a summary in segment 2 of the assessment unit section on your checklist doc. There's a lot here, so try and pick what's going to work and think about how you can either start your digital assessment exploration or improve what you've done in the past. So get going, and I'll give you another yeehaw. Thanks.